It started off really small, right? Like 7 grams a day. It gradually got bigger to like a kilo.
I didn't actually sell anything. I never transacted any money for cannabis.
18 police officers came and kicked off the door.
Pratik was responsible for me ending up in prison.
My actions stopped him being a doctor. This is his like childhood dreams, like gone.
How do you feel about seeing him today then?
I know Sobanan from school. I figured out that he lived 2 minutes away from me. I was like, great, someone to walk home with. I'm not gonna get chased or get a knife put to my throat or someone's gonna try to take my phone on the way home.
We all made an agreement that when we got to university, we would pack the weed in so we just wouldn't smoke and yeah, leave the weed behind.
We got a 4-bedroom house. I got there the night before. As soon as my parents left, I got some dodgy light bulb in my head flickering. Forget about this agreement, I wanna smoke a joint.
That's how the habit managed to continue.
As soon as my student finance came in, it was gone. So I just thought, sell a bit of weed, it's normal. Like growing up around people committing crime, drugs, violence, it's not abnormal to think, oh, let me sell some weed.
His reputation was the guy who could get you weed, basically. People come to me and say, what do you think about this? And I think because I smoked weed, I was way more likely to just be like, oh, it's just weed, like who cares?
It started off really small, right? Like 7 grams a day. And then it gradually got bigger to like a quarter of a kilo.
That was when I started to just talk to him about it and then kind of led to me giving him advice.
Things like never be outside by yourself. When you're paying the dealer back, recount the money in front of him. As time went on, it went up to a couple of kilos. 1 kilo is like 4 grand to 6 grand. That's the wholesale price that I'm getting. It just came to fruition by itself. I could be an accountant with a drug line. I was living 2 lives.
I had chosen to smoke with other medical students. I was like, oh, okay, maybe university is just different to every other area of life where like people are allowed to do these things, and because it's for 3 years and you know, you got to be relatively privileged, I think, to be at university anyway, you get away with it.
And then it took a turn for the worse.
Pratik had heard maybe a few days earlier that someone he had sold weed to had been held at knife point and threatened.
Where are you getting all of this stuff from? They pointed at my house. So now these group of people had an inkling, okay, that there's drugs and money in this house. About 30 of them were outside the door. I got a brick thrown through my window.
It felt like a movie. Everyone in the house obviously knew there was weed there and people didn't know what to do. And my first, I guess, instinct was to call the police. Once the house had become known to other dealers in the area, the police started to do victim support checks.
They come in, they do their welfare checks. I knew straight away what was really going on. It happened like 3 or 4 times. The one time I'm not there, someone that they said was my runner was in the house.
The police just asked him, like, what are you doing here? He was just acting shifty, went into Pratik's room, and the police just asked him, like, are you hiding anything?
And normally they would joke. They were like, oh, it smells of weed, guys. Light an incense stick. But this time, when they said that, oh, it smells of weed, guys, the guy went under my bed, gave them a shoebox full of weed. Now I'm obviously getting a call saying, oh, you know there's police at your door, blah, 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 blah. This is my life now, right? And everyone's like, bro, just run, just go. I felt bad. I brought that to the house. I went there, they arrested me.
At that point, I don't think I felt worried, if I'm gonna be entirely honest. Like, I only thought drug dealing was possession with intent to supply. The only time I started to feel worried was when the police officer turned around to me and he said, we're gonna be coming back for all of you for conspiracy.
The police's whole narrative was that a conspiracy is when 2 people are talking about a crime. Even if one person isn't committing the crime, he physically never sold a drug, just because he was aware and he was giving me advice that he's implicated. In that month, it was like a pause moment, scale things down.
Through January now, and the raid happened the day after my birthday. I was in bed and like heard a massive knock at the door.
18 police officers came and kicked off the door, raided the house. One of them screamed, yeehaw, I remember.
Then arrested us all in our rooms. Like literally arrested me in my underwear in my bedroom.
And then like really like manhandling him.
When I got charged was probably the first moment, like, you know, when your heart drops and you're just like, oh shit, like this is real. Throughout the 20-month period while I was on bail and going through trial after trial, I didn't tell my parents and Pratik didn't tell his parents, my career would straight away, I guess, be done with a criminal record.
It was tense. This is his like childhood dreams, like gone. He was like, I was gonna become a doctor, but he was still keeping a brave face and thinking like, cool. Classic Sobanan, right?
I was convicted the day before sentencing, and sadly the judge didn't let me go home. He said, I'm gonna remand Mr. Narendran to H&P Exeter for the night.
I was sitting on my kitchen table with one of my friends thinking it's 5 o'clock, he'll be on his way home. Went past 6 o'clock, he didn't come home. I was thinking, oh crap, like they've sent him down. My phone starts ringing. His parents start calling me. Where's Sobanan? He's sleeping. He's sleeping. Okay, cool. Where's Sobanan? He's sleeping, he's sleeping. This is going on for hours now. His dad's like, I've seen the newspaper article. Like, we're coming tomorrow, what's going on? I didn't really have much to say. I was thinking, you've seen the newspaper article, like what more am I gonna say? I didn't see Sobanan until court started. And he was like handcuffed and there was like a glass pane. And then they put me in the little box with him. And he just mouthed at me, he's like, are you okay? I was like, me? I was like, are you okay? Like, you spent a night in prison.
I felt very sorry for him because he had to deal with telling my parents and telling his parents and then them driving down. Whereas I guess I was lucky in some ways, lucky to be in prison and coming into court. I don't know which was harder. The judge then read out our sentencing.
Everything was surreal. It's like, oh, this is actually happening.
And yeah, 2 years, 8 months, Pratik got 2 years, and we would walk down into the gallery.
I literally felt like I was living in a nightmare. Everything slowed down. Like from the moment they said it, everything moved at a slower pace. Because I had a genuine belief that I was not going to prison.
Maybe 6 or 7 months before, me and Pratik, I remember a conversation quite vividly where we said, the worst possible thing that could happen is we both get sent to prison. And I just remember like the worst possible thing had happened.
I felt guilty, I felt terrible. I felt terrible and confused. I was like, my friend's losing his medical career.
Pratik was responsible for me ending up in prison.
How do you feel about seeing Pratik today? How do you feel about seeing Sobanan?
Yeah. I was thinking to do that as well.
Yeah.
Are you both still friends and do you trust each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely,
Implicitly, to go through prison where you know there's an atmosphere of fear, there is definitely like a lot of trust, yeah.
1000%.
It's like family, she like brothers.
Sobanan, do you know how much money Pratik was making from selling drugs?
I think like on a good day, upwards of like $1.5 grand, $2 grand.
Yeah, profit, yeah.
Yeah, and then on a bad day, like a couple £100. But like, he didn't spend it being self-indulgent on himself. Maybe on stupid stuff for your like, I don't know, drugs, alcohol, going out, the odd pair of clothes.
When I was actually dealing drugs, I felt like I was actually doing something good for once. So I genuinely felt like, I'm keeping my parents happy by being studying to be an accountant, and I'm actually doing something that makes me feel good inside. So, and it's sad that the first thing in life that I felt like, this is me, I'm actually doing something good, was illegal.
Was there ever a time that you felt anger towards Pratik?
When he wasn't taking trial seriously, then I got angry because I felt like the second trial we were super prepared, the one that was a hung jury. The third trial we weren't that prepared. And I also think after the hung jury, I got complacent because I was like, there's no way in hell that the CPS are going to do a third trial.
And I was like, cool, if you're relaxed about it, and for you it was a higher stake than it was for me,
yeah,
I was like, I can be relaxed then.
Do you regret what you did?
Regrets to my mother, to Sobanan for losing his place, and to myself for the time that I lost.
I didn't feel any regret until actually being in prison. At that point was where I think I realized that if I hadn't smoked weed and if I hadn't done this, then my life would have turned out very differently. I was still the person that I know could have been like, the person who could have said, that's wrong, stop, and Pratik would have listened.
The hardest thing out of all of this, outside of disappointing my parents and causing them pain, was that the one friend who helped me out throughout my life, helped me get into university, my actions stopped him being a doctor, and he was made for it.
Have you ever asked Sobanan to forgive you?
Yes, we've discussed forgiveness.
I feel like we've discussed forgiveness, but I don't know, I'm a big believer in like unconditional relationships. It's more about how we carry ourselves in the moment that defines us more so than forgiving for some past thing that we didn't really know was a wrong thing at the time. Growing up and being through some of the things that I guess me and Pratik have been through together, there's almost this unspoken loyalty that exists. I know Pratik's intention was never to get all of us into trouble, right? His intention was to do what he was doing, like he had seen other people in Plymouth do, other people in London do, and at this moment it was unlucky enough for him to get caught. I think he would have felt guilty just because I know Pratik and I know how he is, and I know in his heart he always cares about other people, often like puts them before himself. In my head, there was no reason for him to ever feel that guilt.
And I guess, yeah, if we did stop smoking weed and I didn't start selling drugs and then it didn't get massive, maybe you wouldn't have gone to prison. And that obviously do feel really bad about that because you worked so hard to be a doctor. Although it's been difficult, it's made us who we are, and thus better men than we were 10 years ago. That's why it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah. I think prison for me was like, it's an educational experience I'm very grateful for, because prison destroyed all of those expectations that anyone had of me, and it almost like broke the shackles, if that makes sense.
Although it was a bad experience, objectively, it's probably, yeah, the worst thing that's happened.